missed this. Readers, a lot has happened since I had to take an impromptu break from making videos. Disney Plus has been released to the public, and the only reason why I haven't used my free month yet is because I'm waiting until the 1st of December so that I can pay off a whole year's worth come January 2020. Everyone's talking about The Mandalorian, yet surprisingly the amount of spoilers for the first 2 episodes are pretty limited, which is absolutely astonishing to me. Like, the only thing that I've seen online is that there's an infant alien that belongs to Yoda's race. But because said race has been unnamed in the Star Wars lore for so long, and is still unnamed, everyone's just been calling him Baby Yoda despite it taking place after the events of Return of the Jedi. Pokemon Fish and Chips came out, Star Wars Souls came out, and as a result of Disney Plus, Netflix and Nickelodeon decided to stop being just friends with benefits and make an actual commitment to a long-term relationship. That'll probably be the topic for the next video, real talk. Man, that joke came from a real ass place. I wish I could afford therapy. And that's not even all the news that broke while I was gone. Because Disney and Marvel Studios recently announced the release dates of 7 more projects in Phase 5 of the MCU over the course of 2022 and 2023. The dates are as follows. Joining Black Panther 2's May 2022 release date are 3 more releases coming out that year, including February 18th, July 29th, and October 7th. Oh, July 29th. On my birthday. Alright. Look, don't look at me in that tone of voice. You knew from the very first video of mine that you watched that I was a Leo. Then we have the year 2023, which will include 4 more releases for Phase 5. These are happening on February 17th, May 5th, July 28th, and November 3rd. Now, technically, before this info was released, the only film that was confirmed with a Phase 5 release date was Ryan Coogler's sequel to Black Panther, which is coming out on May 6, 2022. Personally, I would have kept Black Panther's release date during Black History Month like they did with the first one, but I'm sure Ryan Coogler taking his time with the script to get it perfect is partially the reason why they gave it a spring release instead. As far as Blade is concerned, the only thing we know about the movie is that Mahershala Ali is playing him. When we initially got that announcement during San Diego Comic-Con, the only thing we got was him walking up on stage, putting on a Blade production hat, and a title screen. No date, but considering that Kevin Feige announced it in a way that was a bit more grand than he did Guardians 3, Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, and Mutants, it was a pretty safe bet to say that all of those aforementioned titles would be included in Phase 5. So with that being said, if I were to put a guesstimation pin on any of the previously announced movies to any of these recently announced dates, I would put Blade at the October date. Because obvious reason is obvious. Knowing that James Gunn will be working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 once he's done with the Suicide Squad for DC and Warner Brothers, and considering that the script for it is already pretty much done, I'd say that giving it a 2022 release date is a pretty safe assumption. And considering Volume 2 made over $123 million more in profit with its May release date than Volume 1's August one, giving it the July 29th release date makes the most sense. There isn't that much data to predict what the release date of Captain Marvel 2 will be like there is with Guardians. There's also the fact that no information has been released about the production of the film outside the fact that it's inevitably going to happen. Not even Brie Larson knew the current status of the sequel as of October 10th of 2019, just that it's going to happen. So I would say that I'd probably give it the February 17th, 2023 release date, just because the production has been very hush-hush / non-existent about it. But at the same time, considering how quickly they were able to put Spider-Man into Phase 3 after the first deal, and how quickly they were able to put him in Phase 4 after the renegotiation, I wouldn't be surprised if they just announced that Captain Marvel 2 will have the February 18th, 2022 release date in like a couple of days. Now, let's talk about Fantastic Four and X-Men. I would give Fantastic Four the November 3rd, 2023 release date. Why? Because while it was technically released on August 8th, the cover of the first issue of Fantastic Four was dated for November of 1961. I wouldn't put it past Marvel Studios to do something cheesy like that, especially considering they've done similar stuff with their movies paying homage to the comics and various amounts of Easter eggs before. Unfortunately, there isn't anything like that in regards to the new release dates coinciding with the release of the first issue of X-Men, since it was published in September and there isn't a September release date on Marvel Studios' roster. But if I were to guesstimate which of the 2023 release dates it should have, I would say it's a tie between May 5th and July 28th. And that's mostly due to the fact that both the successful and watchable Foxmen movies were released in May. On the other hand, July could work just as well. Get the right cast, get the right director and writers who live and breathe X-Men, and their intro film into the MCU has summer blockbuster written all over it. Then again, Ant-Man 3 was also announced in November. Peyton Reed is coming back to direct it, and both Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp have pretty much made bank for Marvel Studios with their July release dates. So yeah, maybe X-Men will have the May 5th, 2023 release date, and Ant-Man 3 will have the July 28th when I completely forgot about Ant-Man, Jesus Christ. Now, I don't know how many of these recently announced release dates are actual theatrical releases and how much of them are going to be Disney Plus miniseries. Because according to Marvel Studios' track record, every time a new phase with a significant amount of projects are announced, they start off nice and even. Then they both add and replace projects from the initial announcement at least 2 to 3 months afterward. I mean, look at Phase 3. Not only did the Inhumans movie turn into that TV show we don't talk about anymore, but Spider-Man Homecoming was immediately plopped on the timeline before the ink on Marvel and Sony's contract had a chance to dry. Same thing with the third MCU Spider-Man movie and the Disney Plus shows announced at D23 at Phase 4. The initial announcement was symmetrical AF, 5 movies and 5 shows. Now it's 6 movies and 8 shows because Marvel Studios don't give a damn about your OCD. So, knowing that while these dates are official as of now, I also know that this list could either change or have more added to them later on down the line. I also know that while my project predictions are educated guesses, they're still only that. Guesses. I know that if they decided to just release a dump truck of Phase 5 info during next year's Comic-Con and D23, I'm absolutely prepared to be between 50 to 99% wrong. I have to leave 1% open for the FDA. What? I'm confident in a few of my predictions. Get off my back. As a matter of fact, readers, that's your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comments section below which of the upcoming movies you think are going to be assigned one of the new release dates confirmed for Phase 5 of the MCU. It's good to be back, y'all. If you want to help financially support the channel, you can join my Patreon by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give a one-time donation, you can find links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi account in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. class dismissed.